Do you have the drive and the goal to become an effective leader? All leaders' qualities can be learned. The hard part is identifying the qualities that are needed to succeed as an effective leader. When you know what qualities you're missing, then you should work towards improving those qualities. Recently, you might have noticed that work's being completed at steady pace, but you observe that there is a lack of passion from your team. In this situation, you as a leader, what would you do? Your first thought might be talk to your team, but truth is you should have a conversation with yourself. As a leader, you should look inward and focus on your shortcomings. Ask yourself how you can improve your leadership qualities. People are born with qualities, but they lack some qualities. Most great leaders have become great because they identify the qualities that were missing and they set out to acquire those qualities. You may have the wrong notion that if you want to achieve to leadership position, you must slog at your job and add few more projects to your sleeves. But after a certain point of time, it is more than technical skills and willingness to work hard. You need few additional skills to take on a leadership role. Some people are natural leaders. If you want to take your career as far as you can go, then you must be willing to set out to acquire those qualities. There are strategies that would help you to develop your leadership qualities so that you can keep advancing in your career. Hi, my name is Shram Rao. I have been working for more than 30 years in industry as CEO, CIO, and as a consultant. Had an opportunity to be speaker in more than 500 seminars with over 2 million listeners across 25 countries. And it's an immense pleasure to be with you. Today, I'll share my expertise with you and help you to improve your leadership skills. If you want to be leader, you should always strive for self-improvement. Focus on abilities or shortcomings and try to improve on them. In this session, we're going to spend time talking about how to improve leadership. To be an effective leader, you need to try to improve on certain aspect of your leadership abilities like setting appropriate goals for the team, developing your team to work together, analyzing the problem, leading the discussions, using the meeting effectively, making decisions, and giving support to the team when needed. At the end of the session, you will be able to set a strategic goal and develop your team to work together. You should be ready to analyze problems and find an appropriate solution to those problems. You would also be able to support your team, lead the discussion, and use the meeting effectively to take decisions. For you to improve your leadership, the first important strategy you need is setting up appropriate goals for your team. Goals are essence of all planning, irrespective of they being medium or short term. Goals should be ambitious in scope, but it should be achievable, feasible, and practical. The degree of ambition in setting goals is important because people often respond positively to high achievement. As a leader, you need to prove that goals which looks impossible to achieve are within everyone's grasp. When the goals are accomplished, it will fill the team members with pride and increase the team morale. But always remember, during operations, goals will have its own difficulties, disappointments, and even disaster while achieving goals. Achieving your goals despite such setbacks is a test for your leadership. Do not panic or blame. Act immediately to minimize the setback. A positive state of mind is essential in reaching goals. So try to maintain positive within your team. It is also important to revise goals from time to time and reassess the viability of the goals. As soon as possible after you suffer a setback, analyze your goals to see if they need revision or more time or money, or you need to abandon the goal altogether. Monitor your goals regularly. Second important strategy is developing the team to work together. A leader needs to define the roles and responsibilities for the team both individually and collectively. As a leader, you need to develop the team that thinks and acts together. While assigning roles, you should keep in mind that team comprises of people who can play different roles. As a leader, you must ensure all these roles are well played. While assigning roles, you need to ensure it matches the talent of the team members, if not, provide necessary training. Multitasking is another critical aspect for a leader. Your team needs to be flexible and trained to perform multitasking. Team functions better when the team members understand each other's jobs. Allocate time for your team members to collaborate with another team. For example, encourage a production team member to accompany a salesperson to see a customer. This would broaden and enhance their skills and change perception, which in turn would promote mutual cooperation. While you tell team members to do multitasking, you also have to empower them to perform accordingly. Empower team members by making them responsible for the whole task and allow them to find the best way of doing their job. Gently make suggestions you feel are necessary for improvement. Allow team members to think and contribute their intelligence to the team. Sometimes leaders do not always get a chance to choose their team members. They need to inherit a team from another leader. If you inherit a team, do not jump to conclusions about the team. Wait until you get to know their capabilities. Talk to each member about their ideas and their work in the past. Another important aspect you need to understand: rewards would motivate individual team members to perform better. A good leader recognizes the team members for their performance and rewards accordingly. In case there is issue on reward by any individual, you as a leader, you should explain your decision clearly and stand by it. The third important strategy is you need to identify and analyze the problems. It is important to recognize that there is a problem. Once you recognize, then think and act accordingly. Before you look into suitable solution, you need to analyze and examine the facts about the problems. Is the problem random or recurrent? What is the root cause of the problem? What needs to be done to find a solution to that problem? What are the alternatives? To answer these questions will provide the essential facts without which you cannot generate a best solution for that problem. Once you identify the problem, you also need to find the ways to overcome obstacles created by the problem. Many problems tend to revolve around the gaps. The question is how to fill those gaps to solve that problem. There may be several obstacles while trying to find a solution. You as a leader needs to explore the ways to remove those obstacles. You also need to devise a plan to fill the gaps and take immediate actions to close it. The fourth important strategy: you as a leader needs to lead the discussion. Discussion can be formal, casual, group, or one-to-one basis. Irrespective of number of people involved in the discussion, allow people to share ideas or concerns freely. A successful leader needs to keep discussion productive and purposeful. Call your team together on regular basis to collect feedback and for generating new ideas. Give people time to prepare and make sure that everyone involved can air their views. Encourage open conversation and casual discussion, but discourage deviations. As a leader, you need to encourage discussion in an open office fashion and organize office space to meet and exchange information. Opt for open flow so that the flow of information is constant. The fifth important strategy is using the meeting effectively. As far as possible, minimize meetings. Meetings should start with a clear purpose and valid goals. There is no point in bringing the team together for casual discussions. Meeting must have purpose and decision must be made. Consider the validity of the meeting before arranging it. For example, do the weekly meeting serve the purpose or is done out of habit? Also remember, while holding meeting, go into every meeting with a plan for what you want to accomplish. Ensure all documents is distributed well before the meeting and run the meeting in an orderly fashion. Ensure that everybody concerned has a chance to voice their opinion. End the meeting with the minutes of the meeting document. The document should include a plan with the date and members responsible for the action. Most important, avoid delays. Time and duration must be fixed for the meeting and it should be honored. Arrive early for the meeting so that you can have enough time to analyze the status and challenges. Always close the meeting in time. In case of unexpected delays, try to manage the issue later point of time with the concerned team instead of involving the entire team. The sixth important strategy, making decision. As a leader, you need to be aware that all the decision involve a series of questions that must be answered before making decisions, like which team members to involve in decision making process, what are the alternatives to be considered, is the decision to be made immediately or later. You should also consider alternative options and seek consensus if required for decision with two or more alternatives. You should be systematic in your approach. Take time to list all the available options, assess their validity and consequences. If necessary, involve others to gather relevant information or seek guidance from your supervisor. Encourage the team to speak their mind, but end of the day, you need to make a decisions. Seventh important strategy is giving support to your team. Trust can be difficult to build but easy to lose. You as a leader, you need to work hard for earning the trust. Look after your team. Be prepared to help the team when in trouble. Building trust is critical and important for a leader. Leader must prove themselves trustworthy by word and deed. You should start with the assumption that your trustworthiness will be assessed all the time. As a leader, you should be honest and keep your promise and play fair with the team. Another important aspect is imparting confidence and providing backup to your team. Achievement builds confidence, and you should celebrate individual and team achievements. In confrontation with third parties, support your team as far as the facts will allow. Being seen, fight for their team will strengthen trust and loyalty. If disciplinary action needs to be done, then it must take place in private, not in front of third parties. Let me share a case study with you. Ram managed an important manufacturing unit. However, errors have reached unacceptable levels and staff morale was low. The relationship between Ram and his immediate supervisor, Geeta, had deteriorated to the point of no communication. Raj was appointed as supervisor for the unit. Geeta advised Raj to fire Ram, but Raj insisted on making his own decision. He arranged a meeting with Ram and Geeta where they aired their mutual grievances, which turned out to be some differences on functioning of the unit. Raj dealt with the grievances and insisted that Ram and Geeta must meet only in his presence. This gave Geeta and Ram confidence the unit performance was transformed. There are other important strategies which will help you to improve your qualities. While giving required support to your team, you as a leader should be critical and strategy thinker. You should use critical thinking to anticipate potential issues, identify the root cause, and develop a sound action plan. Strategy thinking will help you to see bigger picture when you make plans for the team. In the event there is a conflict, you as a leader should address the issue straight away. It may be challenged to remain fair and consistent while resolving conflicts. All business experience changes, and change management is a key feature of leadership. First, communicate with your team about the changes and its necessity. Second, ensure that each team member understands how this change impacts them. Third, ensure team gets support and resources during the transition period. Fourth, communicate consistently during this time and get feedback. Team like appreciation and they deeply desire appreciation. As a leader, you should offer honest and sincere appreciation. Providing positive feedback will help the team to build their confidence and acknowledge their achievement and the efforts they are putting in. Encourage creativity and ensure that everyone is clear about what is expected out of them. As a leader, you should build positive working relationship. Nobody likes feeling being ignored and unappreciated. Try to be interested in the team you are working with. It is important to get to know the members of your team individually, not only on professional level but also on personal level. When you put effort trying to get to know about the team, it will build much better rapport among the team members. It is also important you as a leader admit failure. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. If you are wrong, be honest and humble enough to admit it and apologize to those affected. By doing this, you will gain the respect of those you work with. Give your team the freedom and use their talent and allow the team to do what they do best. Control leads to compliance, but autonomy leads to engagement. Ensure your team knows it's better to fail than not to try. As a leader, you should also find out what the team needs to be successful. You may not be able to give everything they want due to management or budget constraints, but you should work hard to make sure they have everything they need. Encourage them to be brave and take chances. Great leaders coach their team. Your ability to be dealer in hope will go a long way for the development of the organization. Before I end this session on how to improve leadership, let me summarize what I described in this session. Take some time to identify the nature of problem. What might causing that problem? Analyze the problem carefully rather than just going by your first impression or urge. Talk with supervisor about the problem to gain some perspective. Having achievable goals and working towards them is important, but the path towards our goal may not be always smooth or easy. Setting goals is part what makes a good leader. Goals gives the team the sense of meaning and purpose. Build a team, begin with assigning roles, empower team and maintain a clear communication. Each team member must contribute and collaborate well with peers. As a leader, you must encourage and recognize great teamwork and reward the team appropriately. Foster the open process and involve all the participants. Meetings are important way for people to come together, and every team member should leave the meeting feeling heard and understood. Every team member should feel positive about the plans or the decisions you have made. Strong leaders propel organization. Leaders should always think strategically. In the event there are conflict, leaders should remain fair and consistent. All business experience changes, and change management is a key feature of leadership. Remember, team likes appreciation. It is also especially important you as a leader admit failure. Thanks for watching this video. Please share your thoughts and comments. I look forward meeting you in our third session on how to train yourself to be an effective leader.